Om apyayantu mamangani Vakpranaschakshu Shrotram Matho Balamindriyani Cha Sarvani Sarvam Brahmopanishadam Maham Brahma Nirakuriyam Mama Brahma Nirakaro Nirakarnamastu Anirakaranamastu meastu tadatmani nirate jaupanishats dharmaha te mai shantu om shanti shanti shantihi. Om, may all functions of our mind, the works of our bodies and the activities of our senses please the Almighty Brahman who is described in the Vedanta. May we not forget him. May we realize his presence in us. May we not be forsaken by him. May all divine qualities adorn our souls and bring peace to our minds. Om, peace, peace, peace be unto us all. So today our topic is Shankara's philosophy in our day-to-day life. Just we passed the birthday of Shankara. We are here Vedanta because of Shankara. During the decadence of Buddhism, all the Vedic culture was totally forgotten in India, where it originated. And the people forgot about the Upanishadic truth. They forgot about the Vedic rituals and things. So Shankara came. Before that, of course, there was a development of the Vedic rituals, which was totally abolished by the Buddhistic influence, already started up. But Shankara has a different role to come. And he started a philosophy which is the cream of the Upanishads, the teachings of the Upanishads. So first we need to know what is Shankara's philosophy. And we must have to know if it's a philosophy, it becomes only some intellectual thing unless it is practical and unless it serves our day-to-day needs of life. Shankara's philosophy, in a nutshell, can be said that what he himself have described, that what is the philosophy? Brahma Satyam, Jagan Mitha, Jiva Brahma Evo Na Apara. Very simple, in simple sentence, happy slok. The philosophy is this: Brahman alone is true, and Jagat, the world we see, as I am seeing, this is Mitha. And what we are then human being, all this creation, Jiva, individual soul, are nothing but Brahman. Now comes the very first question we are bothered about. Brahma Satyam, that is okay. But Jagat Mitha, this world as I see, I perceive so solid, I feel it, I touch it, I taste it, I am hungry, I am suffering, I am in pain, I am in anxieties, I am in difficulties, I am stressed out. All these things are happening, Mitha. And if it is Mitha, then how we survive in this world of complexity? And Mitha, how can it be Mitha? So that is the real question. And that is to be understood according to his idea of Vedantic explanation. Chidghanananda Puri, whose name was Rajen Ghosh, he was one of the greatest scholars in Vedanta. It's very surprising how he was a top scholar. He has a book written by him. It's called the Shankara and Ramanuja, and comparing their philosophy and their ideal and all this. Great scholar. He Once the story goes in his life, transformation came. He could not reconcile the spiritual ideal of Shankara when it is understood that Brahman alone is truth, and that is the only thing. So everyone should be engaged day and night in that thought of Brahman and Atman. And this Ramakrishna mission is following the path of serving humanity, taking care of the sick patient, and nurturing them, giving medicine, this, that. He could not reconcile these two things. Jagat Mitha. The world is all unreal. So why to do work and spend your time and energy in unreal thing? And how an intelligent person like Vivekananda and Ramakrishna's experience, of course, how it is possible that knowing it is unreal, being so involved into it in action, and this feeling of it is futility of this service work which intelligent people like the monks of the Ramakrishna order started doing. And then he was then in Rishikesh, and then our Swami Premeshananda Maharaj was doing austerity in Rishikesh. And he came and met Swami Premeshananda and asked him. He was a scholar. That scholar asked and said, could you please explain why this contradiction and why you people engage yourself in the service of these sick people, the people in need of physical these things. These are all Maya, this is all ignorance. According to Vedanta, it does. How can you do that? And then he had a discussion with Swami Premeshananda. And then he said this response was this way. Very, very intelligent discussion. Rajan Ghosh, who became the great Ramakrishna monk of our order, Chid Ghanananda Puri, he said, Swami Premeshananda said, oh, you are a Vedantin, so you understand. Do you believe that the great dictum? Yes, great dictums I believe. Then do you believe that I am that? Aham Brahmasmi? Of course. And he went on explaining, yes, I am that. And then Premeshananda Swami kept silent for some time and then said, do you believe Tat Tamasi? Yes, of course. That, thou art that, thou that. I am that. Aham Brahmasmi. I am Brahman. Okay, I believe. And you believe, thou art that. You are that. If that is so, then he said, thou. Where you are pointing? Thou, this man, this personality, and then is that. So you have to give up something of thou, the mind, physical body and other emotions and things, and that who is the controller, creator, give up that quality. So it is Brahman and Atman. And yet I am that. I am also not that, because with my body and mind, but when I am off from this body and mind, that consciousness and that consciousness is the same. Then he said, these two things, you agree? Well, yes. Now, when you are Brahman, I am that, Aham Brahmasmi, but you fall sick, do you take medicine? Do you take help of doctors? Do you need those things? Yeah, so long I need. Then where is the problem then when the same God, same divine, same consciousness there, as thou, this whole universe, why not? They need service. So we are not serving man or woman, but we are serving the conscious divinity which is within. And that reconciled his idea. And then he danced in joy. And then he said that, oh, I got a solution, great solution. And he wanted to renounce. And then he was very elderly person that time, I do not know how much will be the age, maybe his 60s or over 60s. Premeshananda Swami wrote a letter to Mahapurush Maharaj, and he went to Shivananda Swami and got sannyas and became Chid Bhavananda. He has given, as a great scholar, so in his book he has mentioned how this attitude of maintaining this idea of Shankara's philosophy, life can be elevated into the divine consciousness, and the stages of that is a very critical analysis. If one starts practicing every day, everything of the universe, including Vedanta says that everything, even God, is also unreal, according to the very orthodox Vedanta. That's why Ramakrishna was very careful. When Swami Vivekananda asked, he was sitting that if he can say that he is God, then I can believe. And Ramakrishna spontaneously addressed that question, and he was in his deathbed, but he spoke out that who became Rama, who became Krishna, he is Ramakrishna in this, but not according to your Vedanta. Very measured word, not according to your Vedanta. True Vedanta will say, avataro, incarnation, that's also not there. That is the philosophy. The universe, including the creator God, Ishvara, is all unreal. Because at the point of ultimate experience, even Ishvara goes. What remains? Only one ocean of consciousness. So, Brahma Satyam, but the point is, the second point people forget what Shankara says, Jiva, individual Jiva, is no other than Brahman. Jiva, Brahma eva. We see you as Jiva, but you are not Jiva. You are Brahman. So that part people forget. So that is, if one starts practicing this way, Chidghanananda Swami has mentioned in his book, 3 stages of development will happen. What will happen? It will say that everything is superimposed on the Atman. There is only one reality, and because of my ignorance, mind is the product of that ignorance. Because of that mind, I project upon that same truth, and I see this universe of diversity. But in reality, it is nothing but that ocean of consciousness. The gross example given, the snake and the rope. There is rope all the time. But because of my ignorance in darkness and illusion, I see that as snake. And not only see, I see its function, its actions, its biting me, and all this phenomenal thing happens. So this phenomenal thing is happening, it is because of the superimposition on the Atman. But truth remains the same whether I see it wrongly or rightly. So Brahman is alone truth. Jagat Mithya, meaning it is only, think this way, I see what I am seeing. I am seeing this table, I am seeing this microphone, I am seeing this clock. But it is only name and form. But I am seeing the same one consciousness in different forms due to the Maya, due to ignorance. So if one goes on, this is sadhana, if one goes on every moment to think, everything is changing, and those changing things appear to me to be real, but really there is an unchanging substance, and that I am not watching. So every day, if one follows this process of mental analysis, and then what happens? Gradually, in life, disease will come, as we are now confronted with corona. Bereavement, people are dying as a result of bereavement, pain and suffering, feeling of suffering, pain, and all these agonies, all are happening. It will happen. You cannot stop it. So long this play, this drama goes on in ignorance. It is called the play of ignorance. Yeah, so long it is darkness, you will mistake it snake. But to analyze and knowing from the people of experience who say that it is not that it is all the divine. It is all Satchidananda. If you hammer on your mind again and again, according to Shankara, then what will happen? A vision will be opened up. And then you will think that, oh, I am looking at Satchidananda, unchanging absolute bliss. In ignorance, by projection, veiling and projection, two aspects of Maya, I am seeing the world, which as a reaction coming to me because I am in the mind, I see it. But in truth, it is jiva, individual, or whatever is there, it is Brahman alone. So that idea, when hammered again and again, what will happen? It will gradually open up. Second stage, he said, that this bereavement, suffering, pain, and all anguish and everything will be there. One will face them, but the intensity of those things will reduce and reduce and reduce. As a result, what happens? They will want to see that there is the truth. There is same Atman as is here, as is there, as is there. That will gradually they become equal in vision, according to Rajan Ghausat Swami Chidghanananda Puri. And gradually his elevation happens because these are not real, but real. I am seeing the real through my ignorance, through my lens of my mind. That's why I see as a friend someone, I see someone as enemy. I am feeling this bereavement, I am feeling this suffering. It is happening either in the body or in the mind. So as a result of regular, constant Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, they will feel gradually that it is all Jiva Brahma. That is Brahman alone, becomes equal in vision. And as a result, in enemy and in friend, in everyone, they see the oneness, oneness, oneness. As he sees oneness, his heart expands. And his heart becomes filled with love for all, gradually expands and expands. And he becomes ultimately a person of universal love. Gradually, gradually, by this process, if one follows truly the Shankara's path, that is showing that it is all Brahma Eva. You see as Jiva, you see as the world. The world, the way you see, that is wrong. Your way of looking at is wrong. But the element is the same. You need not have to do anything to get to reach that element. Then he says that in that condition what happens? This sadhaka will remain engaged in the work according to their varna and ashrama. Varna and ashrama in Hindu culture, you know, 4 varna, 4 varna. What are the varna? Varna is Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, 4 varnas. They're in the society, class of people. Whatever class of people, you do your karma. But keep this thought that what we see is God. Again, I'm coming to word God because it is normal nature, but it is Atman, it is the Brahman, it is the consciousness. So, an ashrama, you are in a brahmacharya ashram, you are the student life, or you are in the married life, or in the retired life, or in the monastic life. According to all the activities you will perform. And this type of practice will give less impact. Our mind will be less impacted by the things of the world. And with this positive attitude of Jiva is only Shiva, that attitude practiced side by side, I am seeing God, I am seeing Brahman, I am seeing the Atman, the self, capital self, Satchidananda self, but I am misunderstanding it. And then with this development, gradually heart's expansion comes, and practice of this type will ultimately, he becomes an instrument ready to give his life and sacrifice for the good of others. That is this natural demand. One person is following Vedanta and becoming dry and hard-hearted, have no feeling for others. There is a question whether it is Vedanta or not. That is Swami Vivekananda's idea also in the modern Shankara in the form of Vivekananda. His idea is that serve God in human being, whatever condition, and you will reach the same divinity. So here, all the philosophy, this Vedanta movement started by Swami Vivekananda, actually Ramakrishna, for this experience of oneness, feeling of oneness. So to serve everyone, that feeling will come for serving everyone, and with the idea, a love, and this distinction between enemy, my friend, I love, I hate, these dualities will gradually collapse. And then they will be continuously engaged in the worship of living God. See what a transformation is coming. It's day-to-day life. It is two-sided effect. One is lessening the impact of the blows of the world which we get every day, battered by the world every day. Whatever you are, you have no escape. But you can think that it is not that important. It is just a superficial thing. Just it is appearing because I am affected by mind, but I am not. If this intense thinking comes, yes, body goes every day. In the sleep, we forget this body. That time there is no body of me. So it will go one day. So it gives boldness to face the death even. Bereavement, yes, it has gone, it will happen. So what is there in it? When the vision is directed towards the truth, what Shankara says, then we can cope up with the problems of life more quickly. You can just come back to your own sense very quickly. Otherwise you'll be moaning and crying and weeping and sobbing all the time because you are taking these as real. So Shankara says it is not real, it is the reality comes on that particular moment, and the moment changes, its shape, its ideas, its impact reduces. Now, rather you see who you are interacting with. There comes the whole philosophy in devotional line called Leela. You are acting and interacting with God. Swami Vivekananda said in his inspired talks, before seeing this table, I see God first and then I see the table. So that development will happen, and that will lead ultimately continuous worship. Then will be continuous worship of God as by scriptural injunction. They will not, because they are practicing, they will not be just sitting idle, but they will be engaged in serving others, they will be engaged in worshipping to purify the mind, and that feeling of oneness will grow and grow. And whatever happens, then he finds that everywhere is God, everywhere is this Atman as is here. So he finds joy in interaction then. And then what happens? Oh Lord, I belong to you. Then it becomes, you belong to me. That means here and there, this distinction vanishes, and then that gives more joy in interacting in the world. The world is no more frightening world. Live in the world boldly, because you are interacting with this Chaitanya consciousness. I am not understanding that consciousness because I am in Maya. My mind is covered with ignorance, and I see same rope but as snake. But if I know, at least heard from my guru or heard from someone, that it is, you are misled. It is not snake. See, you like it because it is you. So that growth starts on, and then it finds great joy practicing this step-by-step thing. And whatever happens, he finds joy in that, but he does not pay any attention and does not desire or show any interest towards this joy. Even as Ramakrishna said, go forward. They find great joy in living in the world, changing the vision. My interaction is going on with Atman, my Atman, as the Upanishad says. You love your son because of the Atman. You love your husband because of the husband. Not the husband, but for the Atman. Like that, to children, to friend, and everything, money, wealth, prosperity, whatever you love for the Atman. That concept gradually grows on and on and on. And then his whole life or her whole life will be engaged with that serving, serving and serving. So that is the philosophy of charity. People are thinking that we do charity to somebody. Swami Vivekananda said, you by this charity, you help yourself. So this is the first stage, according to Ghananandaji, who says that if you follow Shankara's policy, process, then gradually you have to every moment say that this world, the way I am seeing, is unreal. It is because of my mind. I play with me. It's my, that is coming. Next stage will come. Next stage, when one is had done enormous practice on this particular first point, which is actually gradually leading from this clouded conception to the conception of the Atman being everywhere, and then love growing, then attitude, service idea coming, day and night engaged in all these things you are doing, is interaction with the divine. It goes on. When one matures in this type of practice, then the second state comes. What? Then you see everything is me only. And I am that Satchidananda, beyond all duality, beyond all qualities, one without a second Brahman. That practice, he continues, I am everywhere. Huh? Then they say, I am in Brahma, I am the Brahma, I am the Shiva, I am. You find that in our scriptures, Vedanta scriptures, certain places we find such statement. It is very difficult to understand how you say that I am Shiva, I am Brahma, I am this, I am. How can you say, being a limited person? No, they have practiced that first part that has given, unfolded the darkness layer by layer, layer by layer. It is very difficult to deep, thick layer of ignorance. Little by little, little by little, little by little, thinking that it is Jiva Brahma Eva, Jiva Brahma Eva, Jiva Brahma Eva. Whatever I see, it is Brahman, Brahman, Brahman. It is the Satchidananda, Satchidananda, Satchidananda. Thinking this and doing all the time, this unfoldment happens, then the idea comes, I am everywhere. There he says that idea that I am the essence of everything in this universe, Sarvatmaka Bhav. And the real nature of Brahman then revealed in the heart. It is experienced. And then you feel everything is my form only. Everything is me only. And then this love for the universe, actually what we call universe, it deepens. And it deepens and it becomes, I love myself. Atma Prema. They say, how it is thou to me, and then I love myself. And that condition, heart becomes overwhelmed with joy. One reaches the fullness. Why? Due to cessation of all ignorant thoughts and ideas. And that person will continue to do his practices as before, but he will think that he worshipping God, he feels that he is worshipping himself. That is not for ordinary people though, he is giving a gradation, but it is very well described to know how one can spiritually grow inside and reach the culmination of Ananda, the highest joy. As we find in Sri Ramakrishna, no? He started worshipping Mother Kali, and then she is worshipping flower on his head. And that's why Premeshananda Swami sang that song, Apuni, Apuni korile, Apunar puja, Apunar stutigan. You, with all the praise and mantras, you are worshipping yourself. You are worshipping yourself. It is, we may say, oh, it is Ramakrishna. No. In Vedantic experience, if one can follow this discipline slowly into it, rare students can experience this. But this is a stage. And he ultimately understands, he becomes the object of worship. And then he thinks, who am I then? I am in the moon, I am in the sun, I am in the cool breeze, I am in the infinite ocean, I am the life. Everything is centered around me, everything comes out of me, I am the sustainer of the universe, everything goes back to me only. I am Brahma, I am Vishnu, I am the Shiva, these are all my different forms. There is nothing but me anywhere in the world. And taking a drop or glimpse of my Ananda, this Kana, Ananda Kana, taking a spark of that Ananda which I am, the whole universe is bewildered with joy or is engrossed in joy and becomes totally overwhelmed. I am that non-dual truth where there is no trace of two. I am that witness, consciousness, and I am that absolute beyond duality. So this type of experience will happen to the second stage. That means first stage took him step by step to transcend from the duality towards the non-dual experience. And that also gave, it is not a passive spiritual entity, but it is also the thing where one is facing the challenges of life. Every situation coming every day, he will be bold enough to say, oh, it is only play of Maya. It is a play of ignorance going on. This is not ultimately true because it will not remain the same tomorrow. Every split second it is changing and changing and changing. Thinking this way, you will see that it is only, I am seeing that Brahman, which is separate from me first. I am seeing that Brahman and I am misunderstanding it. I misunderstood whole life. Swami Vivekananda's the big great poem, In Search of God, where he says, I was searching you, O Lord, in hill and dale and mountain caves, everywhere, and I found that I knocked at the every temple door, in every church and every mosque, but everywhere I found the response, not here, not here, not here. But one day suddenly something came up in me, and missing I see, oh Lord, you are here, so near to me. So he is giving a very poetic expression. But philosophically, if this practice will give this wonderful opening of the heart to see the world in a different perspective, face the challenges of life in a bolder way, and at the same time making the spiritual goal go higher, up, up, up. And then from there, second stage will come, as we have discussed. It will lead to, oh, it is me only everywhere. And that therefore love grows. I cannot hate myself, Swami Vivekananda says. I cannot but serve myself. I eat, I take rest, I sleep, I go to clean myself. So whatever I do for me. And I don't need anybody's thanks. So serving someone, I don't need anyone to thank me or I to thank him. So all these ideas grow gradually, and then he sees that I am everywhere, second stage. And down come to the third stage, that all this Mai Ananta Chidam Buddhau Vishwa Vichiyadi Kalpana. It is me only. Whole universe, the sun, moon, stars, galaxies. It is only me, me, me. And sadhaka reaches this third state due to practice of everything is me. As a result, what happens? In this third state, there is a merging of the witness consciousness and the object. Subject, object, they all merge into it. The bliss achieved in that second stage, in the other stage, that experience also starts. That joy also. I am feeling, oh, I am here, I am there, I am there. That there means little trace of ego remains. And that ego also gradually gets merged and it dissolves. Gradually he feels, I am the experience. I am the experience, I am the experiencer. There is nothing but me. Then he loses all ideas. Like me, physical body, forgot that. God, the creator, that also goes away. Phenomenal universe goes away. And even his idea, I am Brahman, that idea goes away. And gradually, moment by moment, this thought will be intermittently coming in his mind. And when practiced more, then one day he will be established. Where from come this duality? Then question will come when he experienced that and suddenly comes down. Then he said, where this universe come from? Shankaracharya just told himself, Kaggatam, coming down from that experience in the third stage, Kenavanitam kutralinam idam jagat, Udunaiva maya drishtam nastikim mahat adbhutam. He says, Hare, where does go this universe, which I was seeing with diverse names and forms? Who has stolen it? Where it dissolved? I saw this world just now. And it is not there anymore. That consciousness, he will be totally surprised when he comes down a little bit from that experience. He says, oh, where is this world? And where this goes away? So that impossibility, that idea of impossibility of how this world came and where from it came, that question will be there in the mind, but he becomes surprised observing the duality in the non-dual. It's not like us. We are seeing the duality and we are imagining there is non-dual. But for him, it is non-duality covered with name when he comes down. And what will be his experience? He will feel that in that non-dual, beyond all action, beyond all changes, how this duality, the world of duality, came to me. It is like dream. It comes and goes. But there is no sign of its existence, permanent existence. Where does it come? Where does it go away? Where is Guru? Where is disciple? Where they all disappear? Where is bondage? Where is freedom? That is the state, will reach the third stage. And when this is called the Jivan Mukti state, and then when that body of that person drops, then he will be eternally free, called Videha Mukti, or he will be Brahma Nirvana, or will reach that consciousness of Brahman. So this is the one way of looking at. And Shankara, again, let me go a little bit in another, three stages of development. It is a very wonderful idea. It inspires us to follow the path of Vedanta, Shankara's Vedanta. But only point that this conflict remains for us, happiness, misery, pleasure, pain, fear and anxieties, bereavement and disease, all these are false. All these are unreal. How can it be unreal? I cannot accept that. Therefore, for us, Shankara suggests, you go to a teacher. Then you start your prayer, praise. Go to Ganga, take a bath in Ganga. Everything is included into it. In one jump you don't go. You go to temple, you go to churches, you go to listen to the divine things. Just hammer this idea again and again and again. So Shankara says that you keep this Advaitic thought, take this Advaitic idea that there is only one absolute truth in your spiritual ideal, in your mind. Always keep that is the ultimate goal. And in this, when you are interacting in this world, you behave as you are, as we read just now, that you are born in a family life, so you behave like that. You are a student, behave like that. You are a retired person, behave like that. You are a monk, you behave like that. You are a Brahmin, born in a Brahmin. That caste system is not much, but in our level of activity, we think that's my job. Do all job, but with attitude is that Kriya Advaitam. In Kriya, in action, don't bring Advaita. When you do it perfectly. I do not know this quote is of Shankara or not. It was in Tattva Upadesh, and that is claimed to be Shankara, some people say. This very oft quoted verse. Je bhava advaitam sada kuryat. keep your non-dualistic spiritual ideal in your mental level. And kriya, in an action, advaitam nakarichit. In duality, you keep this respect. Oh, I am Brahman, you are Brahman, so okay, I am, you are one. That does not work. Here one is more powerful, one is less, one is intelligent, less intelligent. So in your action, someone is doing one way, my action, your action, you are in a position higher than me, I have to respect you. You are in another work, you should appreciate that. In behavioral world, we must have to act as a normal, natural person. Sometimes we think that we are spiritual, so spiritual people can do whatever they like. No, they should be conforming to the society so long he lives in the world. Maybe exceptional cases are there, forget that, but in general way, they should conform to the rules. And Advaitam Trishu Lokeshu, think that yes, essentially there is the same consciousness here, same consciousness there. But it's a question of manifestation. There is 0 bulb, night lamp, there is 60-watt bulb, there is 100-watt bulb, there is 1,000-watt bulb. So you don't make equal, oh, 15 watt is equal to 1,000 watt. No, not that. In the world of relativity, you behave the same way, but you keep the idea it is all electricity behind it. So this is the address. So one goes to the teacher who will teach, and then will do all the preliminaries of prayer, chanting mantras, becoming holy by dipping themselves in the bath or Ganga. We sprinkle Ganga in Hinduism and other religion also other. So, and then follow, it's a Vedanta, so you follow this path of non-dual practice. As you know, it is called Sravana Manana Nididhyasana. That means listening again and again, unreal and real and this, and then reflecting deeply and diving deep into it. And this is very important. This practice also I can say that is Shankara's philosophy can help us every day. So Sravana and Manana and Nididhyasana. So this is the sadhana. What is the sadhana? Vivek. Every day to analyze that it is what is real, what is unreal. What is real, what is unreal. If every day one does it very seriously, those things which are changing, which are not, immediately it has its own impact. But when it passes away, then we know that it is not permanent. So that creates an impression in our mind. So viveka is very important to have that analysis. And nitya, anitya, it is eternal or non-eternal. And then to have the courage to give up, which is non-eternal. And then collect all these good qualities, traits. These are practices. In one jump, if one says, I am Brahman, I am Atman, it does not make any development for that person. But one will have to have this idea, to follow this, and then yearning for liberation. That's why one should have to think that I feel that I am seeing wrongly this world. And that is the cause of my suffering and pain. How can I get out of this? And then the yearning to be liberated from this ignorance. Bondage here, ignorance. That is, and then as a result, what will happen, as we have discussed, this anitya, which is a momentary effect, which is in our life, that will be washed away. And every day we think it is Brahman, then we'll be able to see the world in Brahma Drishti, just seeing it differently than that of the way we are habituated in seeing. So you find that Shankara himself, you look at his life, how much he worked for, and how much also he have taught us to how to live in the world and in this duality at the same time, transcend them. You see, Shankara created went north to south, east to west, working. He worked so hard. Why? If the world is Maya, then why you are working? It is Maya because ignorant people. But when in his stature, he sees that me, he sees the suffering of the people, the suffering in ignorance. Their misconception is making their life miserable. So to give them right wisdom, right knowledge, he went, moved length and breadth of. And how many philosophy was prevalent in India even today? This book has mentioned about maybe 40 different denominations, different philosophies, different ideology. He challenged them and corrected their way of vision and then directed them in a right way. So, এখন the Shankara mosque has been established, and there the worship of the Divine Mother has been started also there, Is every 4 matas there are one presiding deity established by Shankara himself. So sometimes we think non-dual means that we have to just give up everything and just don't do anything. But it includes everything. Spiritual practice is very important in that. Shankara, that 2 stories, very interesting stories. He talks about Vivartavada. I will touch a little bit of that. What is Vivartavada? Vivartavada means, a simple example is snake rope. Vivarta means it seems it is something else, but there is no change. That is called Vivarta. Vivarta means Brahman remaining the same all the time, appearing like this world. Like, as I give many times this example, you are driving in the freeway, you see at a distance some water on the road, you see that water, but water is created by your illusion. You drive and go close, you see that there is no water, it is the same road. So Brahman remaining same, this is the example of Vivarta, that it remains the same, your vision is clouded and you see it wrongly. So this is the supported by Shankara. Vivartavada was a philosophy which was there before even Shankara, but he re-established Vedanta on the theory of, and the greatest example will be easier to understand, that snake rope remains in the past, present and future. The Brahman remains the same. It was there, it is now here, it will remain the same. But this world appearance will change according to our mental development. And Shankara, who has always used to leave his mind in the non-dual absolute. So there is a wonderful story that one Chandala, outcast, he appeared before him. No? And he has 4 dogs, and dogs are untouchable in India, untouchable because they are not house dogs. So, and he appeared before them, and he, with the dog, he was sitting on a dog and eating himself a bread, collected a bread from the dustbin or something. He's eating one and feeding that to the dog, and then again eating, and Shankara was going to take a dip in the Ganga with his disciples. He said, please make a way for me to go to Ganga. Then what he said, that was the beautiful statement. And he's seeing Duram apasarare chandalo. Oh, outcast, please make a way for me. Go a little away from my journey. Then he said, Are, what are you talking? Vishnu puristhito Vishnu, Vishnu khadati Vishnave. Katang hasasire Vishnu, sarvam Vishnu mayam jagat. Are, you are Vishnu, Lord, God, pure, and in the embodied form. And you are looking at me, and they're saying, I'm an outcast. I am also Lord Vishnu, pure consciousness only. And this, you see the dog is also Brahman, pure consciousness. And I am Vishnu, I am feeding the dog Vishnu. And Vishnu is feeding the Vishnu. And you, fool, you are Vishnu, you are smiling at me. And then suddenly he appeared as Vyasa. He became Vyasa, and that story, then he was said that I was testing you. Anyway, that means this is the knowledge. Sarvang Vishnu Mayam Jagat. That consciousness. Transcendental knowledge is one thing. When you go to the transcendental, that's one. But when they come down, naturally this duality again arises. So that took away his idea. Another also story, I'll just to touch it before I finish. that all are not competent for all types of non-dual experience. Now, there are, in the philosophy of Vivartavad, final level is Ajatavad, it is not created at all, and this and that. As I said, even God has no position there. Even that's why Sri Ramakrishna said, not according to your Vedanta. I am not incarnation according to your Vedanta. So if that type of teaching will not work for everyone. So Mother Annapurna in Varanasi, that story you know, that the mother appeared to give that lesson that Shankara should teach, coming down little, one step down. So Shankara saw one young lady is bitterly crying because her husband passed away, and on the street she is lamenting. And then seeing that, Shankara and his disciples are going to take a bath in the Ganga, and she said, Mother, please move the dead body little this so that I can go. Then, but she is listening, she is not listening, she is so upset and she is crying and weeping like that. But after some time, 2-3 times being asked, then she said, why not tell this dead body to move? Then Shankara says, Mother, what are you talking? Can the dead move? Have you lost your head? Then the lady said, why, sir? According to you, Brahman alone is true. And without Shakti even, Shakti has no play there. The world has come from Brahman itself. Is that the cause of running the world and this diversity? So you go to Brahman then. Brahman can do that. Then only, then why not, if your philosophy says so, say that Brahman, who is unmoving reality, can do everything this world without Shakti. So you tell Brahman, the dead body also can be moved automatically. And then that came as a flash, and Mother appeared, and he got the lesson. Shankara got the lesson that it is that Nirvishesh Brahman, the advice of Nirvishesh Brahman, without the Shakti, it is not for common people. So this is for special people who can understand that, and that's why he started coming down, Shankara came down to our level and started teaching us from all these different modes. So he taught us Guru, to go to a Guru, trying to find out the secret of the mystery of life, do prayer, and he composed so many poems for us. Annapurna Stotra, Ganga Stotra, it's full of devotion and things. So don't think Vedanta means there is no place for all these things. They have all their places, and all this will purify gradually. But the focus should be Brahman alone is true. Whatever she is seeing, it is only an appearance. And doing that, then gradually a Brahma Drishti, a vision, will appear in our mind that to how to see the world in a different perspective, seeing Brahman there. So this is all what I wanted to say, that to daily life is tormented with so much of anguish and pain and suffering, but Shankara's teachings can give us some strength and power to face these challenges and to rise above to our eternal consciousness, which is Satchidananda Brahman or Atman in the Upanishad. So I can just 5 minutes or 10 minutes, I will be in any question. If anyone have any question, you can put it. Otherwise, we'll... Anyone having any question? Normally we used to do that for a long time.
Someone had asked, does it mean that we serve ourselves first? I do what gives me joy first, and then look after others' happiness?
Yes, the question is that then does it mean that I shall then today go and eat and sleep and dance for myself only and don't look at anyone? No. That is again we are in ignorance, we are thinking self means this body. But it is said that to see the self means that divine which is within me, and that divine is within everyone. So it is totally different. It makes selfish. We are not to teach Vedanta, we are not here to teach that be selfish. Rather, forget that. You are not the little self. You should not think that you are the little self. You are the big self. And that big self is everywhere. That's called Atma. Atman. So I think that is the point. Yes, if we should be unselfish, and I serve myself means what? My divine self. That means, as I said, by serving this way, our higher identity will be revealed to us, and then I will serve. I expands, as I said in the first state, and then I expand. I see myself in everyone. Therefore, I serve everywhere, everyone. Meaning, I think I am serving myself. In that sense, serving others, and Swami Vivekananda gave that very concrete way: serve others. Any other?
Someone asks, what is the difference between the mind and the subtle body and the ego?
Roma. Mind, subtle body, and the ego. These are all technical terms. We have a physical body as we see, then we have a subtle body. The subtle body means mind, intellect, ego, memory. These are the mind part, and senses part, eyes, ears, nose. So these are subtle body. I have talked about that also. It is in the dream. Consider that I am in dream. So when I am in dream, what are there? 5 sense organs of action, 5 organs of knowledge, perception, and 5 elements are necessary: air, water, fire, ether, space, and other fire. So these are all mixed together with mind and intellect, or ego and memory. All are called the subtle body. And that subtle body transmigrates from one body to another. And yes, mind and ego, they are all different functions of the same reality. Mind, when it cannot decide anything, it is called the mind. When it can fix it, and when it can decide something, that it is this, that is determinative power. When it is applied, it is called buddhi, intellect. And ego is that person who is, when it same mind says I, and the same mind functions as memory. So these are the 4 names of the same I. As if one person, gross example, one person is driving the car, we call driver. When he comes back and start cooking, I say, who is the cook today? He is the cook. Maybe the same person. And when he is doing a teaching job, then he is a teacher, like that. But the same person functions in 4 levels. Okay? Thank you. Okay. So, we end here then. Thank you all. No, can you catch it? I did not have my camera is not necessary, they can hear. Okay, that's it.
Most people are signing off by now.
Sorry, is an announcement for next week. Brojaprana will be speaking. Speaking means like this, streamed. It will be streamed, though she will not come here, but from Santa Barbara itself, and they will stream it from here. Her topic is Jesus and us, no?
Buddha.
Buddha and us, okay?
Yeah, Buddha.
Buddha, Bhagavan Buddha, Buddha only. So she will be, next Sunday will be her talk. And Tuesday, tomorrow, day after tomorrow, we will have our class at 4:30, and also 4:30 Bhakti book, and at 7:30 will be Nectar of Knowledge. And then Wednesday will be gospel class as usual. Please find all these announcements in our website. And also, if you are having MailChimp, there you will get all these details. Please watch, and then you can keep note of them. Thank you. I will close with a chant. Om Sarvastaratu Durgani Sarvo Bhadrani Pashyatu Sarva Sadbuddhimapnotu Sarva Sarvatra Nandatu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May all be freed from dangers. May all realize what is good. May all be actuated by noble thoughts. May all rejoice everywhere. Om peace, peace, peace be unto us all. Thank you.